Okay, I'm going to do something a little different today. I'm going to be honest with you. 6 months ago, I started this channel. I have 17 followers. 17. And look, I know YouTube is the long game. The algorithm is a mystery wrapped in a riddle around a middle finger pointed directly at small content creators. Canada is a small market. I get it. But I'd be lying if I said there weren't days where I sit down and film and think, is anyone actually out there? Does anyone give a shit? And then I remember why I started doing this. And I remember who I'm doing it for. And that's what I want to talk about today. I was a Gen X kid, which means I grew up eating like a feral raccoon and nobody questioned it. Peanut butter sandwiches on white bread every single day, hot dogs, Kraft dinner, Chef Boyardee, straight from the can if you're feeling fancy, frozen everything. Sugary cereal that was essentially candy with a cartoon toucan on the box, a glass of Tang because apparently that counted as fruit. We were outside until the streetlights came on. Half the time our parents had no idea where we were and what we ate, and we ate whatever was in the cupboard. Nobody carried water bottles. Nobody talked about gut health. Nobody was tracking protein or worrying about seed oils or asking what the hell maltodextrin is. But here's the thing people forget when they talk about how badly Gen X ate. We also had family dinners every single night. Everybody at the table at the same time eating actual food that someone actually cooked. And Sunday roast every Sunday without fail. Meat, potatoes, vegetables, real ones, not the ones that came out of a pouch. The whole house smelled like it. It was a whole event. Was it perfect nutrition? Nope. Some of it was processed, sure. But it was cooked, it was shared, it was real food made from recognizable ingredients eaten together as a family. We don't do that anymore as a society. We've basically abandoned the family meal and replaced it with everyone eating separately, in front of a screen, out of a package, at whatever time is convenient. And I think that shift matters more than we give it credit for. And honestly, I'm not even mad about how we ate back then. That was just life in the 80s. But here's the thing. The food we grew up eating, it wasn't great, but it's not the same food that exists now. The level of processing have changed. The ingredients have changed. The amount of additives, artificial dyes, preservatives, emulsifiers, refined seed oils, flavor enhancers, it is different now. And once you start learning about it, you cannot unsee it. So I was in my 30s when I took my holistic nutrition course. I had 3 teenagers at home. 3. And I want to be real about what motivated me to take it. It wasn't some big health crisis for me personally. It was them. I wanted to give my kids a foundation, something solid to build their own health on as adults, because I could see the way we were eating wasn't it. And I wanted to do better. So I enrolled, expecting to learn about food groups and vitamins and maybe get some good recipes. Instead, I walked out thinking, what in the actual hell have I been feeding my family? And why does nobody talk about this shit? The stuff they don't teach you, the ingredients that are just in everything, the way food affects your hormones, your gut, your sleep, your mood, your inflammation levels, the connection between what you eat and how you feel that seems so obvious in hindsight, and yet nobody, not your doctor, not your school, not the food pyramid they made us memorize, nobody lays it out clearly. I was furious and fascinated at the same time. And then I tried to change the way our family ate. And my husband looked at me as if I'd suggested we move to a commune and start making our own jeans. Bless him. He came around eventually, slowly, with resistance, but he came around. My kids, they grew up with it. They're adults now, and they actually think about what they eat, which is all I ever wanted. In certain circles, I'm known as the veggie. I am the cautionary tale they wheel out at family gatherings. I am the one who's obsessed with food, the one who reads ingredient labels at the grocery store like a weirdo, the one who eats plants on purpose. Meanwhile, look around at the general population now. Rates of obesity, type 2 diabetes, high blood pressure, heart disease, autoimmune conditions, depression, anxiety, all going up. Prescription medication use going up. The number of people on 5 or more medications at the same time going up. And we've just accepted this as normal, as inevitable, as getting older. But here's the question nobody seems to be asking out loud. What if a significant chunk of what we're medicating is being caused or made dramatically worse by what we're eating every single day? Not all of it. I'm not saying food is the answer to everything. I'm not anti-medicine. Please do not throw away your prescriptions, for God's sakes. Don't put them in the garbage and tell people the internet lady said to do so. Don't do that. But the blood pressure, the blood sugar, the joint inflammation, the low energy, the mood issues, the digestive disasters, the weight that won't budge no matter what you do, so much of that has a food connection, a sleep connection, a stress connection, a you haven't moved your body in 6 months connection. And nobody in the conventional system has the time or, frankly, the training to sit with you and work through that. So people get a prescription, which sometimes causes a side effect, which sometimes gets its own prescription. And the food that started the whole thing stays exactly the same. And I'm sitting over here being called the weirdo for eating broccoli, and that's the inspiration for this channel. The people who are doing everything they think they're supposed to and still feel like shit and don't understand why. The people who have been told their lab results are fine but feel anything but. The people who are tired of being handed a pill and shown the door. Here's an argument I hear constantly. Eating healthy is expensive. And I get it. I do. Have you been to a grocery store lately? It's genuinely offensive. The price of food right now is unhinged. But here's what I want you to think about. A bag of broccoli costs, I don't know, $3, $5 in Canada. A bottle of blood pressure medication costs, well, that depends on your coverage, right? If you have coverage, if you don't have coverage, could almost be nothing out of pocket, which sounds great until you realize that you're on it for the rest of your life. It comes with side effects that often require a second medication and is treating a symptom, not a cause. I'm not saying that food cures everything, and I'm not saying to throw out your prescriptions. Please, for the love of God, don't do that. What I am saying is that the cheapest food, the ultra-processed, hyper-convenient, engineered to be addictive food, is not actually cheap when you factor in what it does to your body over 20 or 30 years. We've been sold the idea that real food is a luxury and medications, they're just part of adult life. And we've accepted it without questioning it. And the food industry and the pharmaceutical industry are absolutely both fine with that arrangement, by the way. I'm not. My own relationship with food has been a slow evolution. It still is, honestly. I'm not standing here telling you I'm perfect because I am absolutely fucking not perfect. But I do eat differently now. More whole food, more plants, less stuff with ingredient lists that read like a chemistry exam. I move my body regularly, and here's my very Gen X, very unglamorous reason why. I want to be able to get off the toilet by myself when I'm 80. I want to carry my own groceries. I want to get off the floor without making sounds like a haunted house. I want to be functional and independent for as long as humanly fucking possible. That is my fitness motivation. And it's not photogenic. It will never go viral, but it is deeply, sincerely mine. And the food piece is what makes it all work together. Sleep improved, energy improved, the baseline of it, just feeling like crap that I've accepted as normal, it started to shift. And I started to realize that so much of what I'd written off as just getting older was actually my body responding to inputs. What I was eating, how I was sleeping, how stressed I was, what I was putting in and on my body. You have more control over how you feel than you've been led to believe. And that's the thing I want people to know. And that's why I keep saying it. So why am I making YouTube videos that only 17 people are watching? Because I took a holistic nutrition course 15 years ago and it absolutely changed my life. And I have never stopped wanting to share what I learned. Because I look around and I see so many people who are struggling, who have been let down by a system that treats symptoms instead of causes. And I think someone should be saying this in plain language, without trying to sell you a supplement, without the wellness industry bullshit, without the perfectionism and the fear-mongering and the clean eating gospel. Just here's what food actually does, here's what's in it, here's what your body needs, here's why you feel the way you do. And specifically, and I say this for my fellow Gen Xers who are now in their 40s and 50s, watching their bodies change and feeling like something is off, you are not imagining it. Your body has changed. The food environment you're living in has changed. The eat less, move more advice you've been given your whole life is not a complete answer. You deserve the full picture. And that's it. That's the whole reason. If you're one of my 17 followers, genuinely thank you from the bottom of my heart. You have no idea what it means to know someone is actually on the other side of this. And if you're new here, welcome. This is a no bullshit space. We talk about food, hormones, midlife health, and what it actually looks like to take care of yourself when you're Gen X and you grew up thinking vegetables were a punishment. With swearing, because that is our love language. I'm going to keep making these videos whether 5 people watch them or 5,000, because the information matters, because the people I love and the people I haven't met yet deserve to have it. If any of this resonates with you, I'd love to hear about it in the comments. Tell me, do you have a family member who calls you the health nut? Are you the only one in your circle who reads ingredient labels? Are you the weirdo who brings real food to the potluck? You're not alone, and you are not weird. You are just paying attention. So subscribe for more no BS nutrition advice, and I'll see you in the next one.